Hi, this is Lisa Knight, and I'd like to go over the rubric for discussion forums that include a pivot interaction. So, in order to achieve 100 on this activity, you will need to master and adhere to all the criteria for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sections of this rubric. First of all, you will have a pivot interaction to complete, and it will need to be completed by the initial post due date in the discussion, which you can find posted in the syllabus, in the assignment due date guide, in the Start Here menu, and in the discussion prompt itself. In order to get 100 on this particular criteria, or section of the rubric, you must also make a 70 or higher on the pivot interaction. So either you adhere to both of those criteria and get 20 points for doing that, or you adhere to one of those criteria and get 10 points, or you just don't get any points for that particular section of the rubric. The next section will be the initial post itself. The initial post must be posted on or before the initial due date. It must address each part of the prompt, and it must include collegiate grammar and punctuation. If all of these criteria are met, then you'll score 20 points on that section. If only 2 of those criteria are met, you'll score 10 points. If one of those criteria are met, you'll only score 6 points. And if you don't do it at all, then of course you don't get any points. After you've made your initial post, you need to reply to 2 different classmates on 2 different days. So for each reply, I'm looking for that you reply with constructive feedback, that your reply shows all the calculations you made to compare your answer to your classmates, and provides a web page or video resources to help your classmate if necessary, and that you're using collegiate grammar and punctuation. So if all 3 of those criteria are met for that section, you'll earn 20 points. If only 2 of those are met, you'll earn 10 points. If only 1 of those is met, you'll earn 6 points. And if you don't reply to that classmate, then you don't get a grade. And I'm looking for the exact same criteria for replying to classmate 2. Replying with constructive feedback, including your calculations when you make comparisons to their calculations, and providing any web pages or resources that may help them, and then also making sure that you have collegiate grammar and punctuation. And finally, the next part of this is you can earn your last 20 points by making sure that you participate on 3 separate days. So if you post your initial post by the initial due date, and then you post one reply to a classmate on one day after that, and then another reply on a different day, you will have 3 separate posts, and you will met all the criteria for that section, and you'll earn 20 points. And if you post on 2 different days instead, you get 10 points for participation. And if you post everything on one day, then you get only 6 points of participation. And if you don't at all post, then you don't get any points. So if you make a 20 on each of the 5 sections, you have 100 on the discussion forum.